Hey everyone, Guard Leaf here. How's everyone doing? It's a weekend. I'm just going for my usual weekend walk, and I wanted to. Before I start, you guys recognize this courtyard? It was actually in the movie, the Marvel movie Thunderbolts, and I'll put it on the screen right now so you guys can see. But I didn't actually realize this, so it's kind of cool. Anyways, I wanted to create this video to. We had an interesting conversation in our Discord server with a few of our regular viewers, as well as somebody who I guess I've never really seen in the server before, but they've apparently been quote-unquote supporting my channel. But it was an interesting conversation because I was basically accused of spreading hate, and basically everything that I'm doing on my channel is spreading hatred towards all U.S. citizens. And again, this is just another typical problem I have with my channel, is that everybody seems, or some people, seem to think that I'm always generalizing all U.S. citizens. And I don't know what the hell I have to do to like explain to some people that, hey, I'm not generalizing. I have friends in the United States, I have family in the United States, and I have met a lot of great people from my channel that are based in the United States. So I don't generalize everyone. Hang on a second here. Sorry. What I'm trying to say is that I don't know if I'm just getting fed up. I mean, I'm getting tired of explaining myself. And a lot of people say you don't have to explain yourself. You're very clear. It's just some of these people can't understand, and they twist the message that I have in my videos to make it seem like I'm spreading hate. And before I start, this is another area in the downtown core of Kuala Lumpur. It's called the River of Life. And towards the later nights, it actually lights up all blue. So maybe when I do have time in the evening sometime, I'll do a walk and talk video when this is all lit up. So, but yeah, what I was saying is that I don't know what I need to do in order to make these people understand that I'm not generalizing. And one of the things I have to say though is that there is a lot of anger towards the United States. And is it justified? Of course. And one of the things that kind of came up in the Discord conversation is that in my videos I'm very hard on the people who are not doing anything. Well, okay, that's I'm not gonna lie on that one. I agree with that one. I am very hard on people who are not doing anything, and rightfully so. I think the rest of us in the rest of the world are also upset as well. Do people in Southeast Asia have anything to do with the United States and their gas prices are up? Same with people in Europe. So I think everybody does have a right to be upset. Now, when it comes to the US population, I've shown in my videos that, yes, there is a small minority that actually cares about their country. And they see the flaws in the country that the rest of the world actually has been seeing for years, maybe if not years, decades. There are those groups of US citizens, and, like I said, I have lots of great friends in the United States. I met a lot of people in, through this channel. Became great friends with Josh, and both of our communities, we are all on the same page. But there is a big group that is just apathetic. They do not care. And I know there's not going to be any hard ways to show this, and I did show in a few videos that, hey, these are the Google trends for the United States. And the screenshots that I did show, and maybe I'll show it again just to see what the update is today. But you can see here, what is the priority in the United States right now? Now, I don't know what it is right now. I'm going to assume I'm going to have to search this when I get home and edit the video, but I'm going to assume there's going to be like basketball searches or sports or celebrities or anything that doesn't really have anything to do with, what their country is doing right now, or, the current status of it. And to me, that's a bit of a problem. It's a problem because if the citizens don't care, if they're not searching or actively looking to, educate themselves, then I said it before, why should we care? And, if I did see, searches in the United States in the past 24 hours that had search quotes such as, hang on, this freaking gimbal is not listening to me. It's not following what I want it to do. But anyways, what I was saying is that if I saw search terms such as like, how do we invoke the 25th Amendment, or how do we impeach Taco Tuesday, or anything that would be like useful, I might have a different tone. And, to me, that shows that, yes, going by Google, the search results, people are actually wanting to understand what's going on. And I'm just not seeing that. And I don't think anybody's seeing that. So, that brings me back to the point of our chat on the Discord server. Me pointing this out, am I considered a hater? Or do we have a right to be frustrated because the country that is our next door neighbor, sorry, it's going to be a little bit loud, they're doing some construction here. Hopefully it's not too loud on the mic, but the country that is causing all this chaos doesn't really care. So do we have a right to be mad? I don't know, I feel we do. And, it's not just the country itself. I mean, the government, one thing I have to reiterate, I really can't stand it when people blame the government. And sure, yeah, the government's doing everything right now, but who put them there, right? So I'm just, I'm frustrated by all the comments that I'm getting. People saying I'm being too hard in the United States, or that I'm judging, or what's the word? Generalizing all U.S. citizens together. Oh, hey, what the hell's going on here? I'm not sure what this is called, this area is called, but they always have a lot of festivals and events that go on here. So maybe I'll just walk around here. Oh, I gotta show you this building that they recently renovated. So I'll walk on the other side and give you guys a better view. But yeah, back to my point. And I do want to thank some of our Discord viewers. There's Mocha V, Necron, and Curious K, Rathika. I really appreciate you guys standing up for me. And I'm not the most knowledgeable in everything, but I know what's right and wrong. And when somebody comes into my Discord server, starts accusing my video, I really appreciate you guys standing up for me. But back to what I was saying, the point. Okay, good. What I'm trying to say is that it's getting to the point where if the United States citizens, the apathetic ones that are just sitting around, searching for basketball highlights or not giving a shit about what's going on, if this continues on, it's not a good image. It's like watching a lazy ass friend sitting on the sofa doing absolutely nothing and complaining that life sucks. And, it's playing the victim. And I can't stand that. I don't know if you've noticed in my video or not. I've told you guys before, my family, some people think I'm well off. I'm not. When we grew up, my family actually also almost lost our home. And we were almost homeless. And that was a situation where it woke me up, told me that I gotta do whatever I can to not put myself, or even, make sure my family's not in that situation. And, I could have done two things. I could have just sat around, did nothing, and complained that everything's so expensive. Or I could have worked my ass off and started a career and make sure I'm never in that situation again, or my family. But what I'm saying right now, and if you look at the Google search results and just how everyday life in the United States has not changed, it's just, except for gas prices, yeah, they're pissed off because of gas prices, and that's the only thing that actually affects them. But the rest of the world, whether you're in Europe, Australia, New Zealand, Asia, we're watching. And we're watching the United States do absolutely nothing about what's going on in the country right now. So, some of the Americans or US citizens that are watching this right now, I'm sure that might hurt to hear that. And, some of you are probably going to unsubscribe. That's fine. I mean, if you can't really handle what the truth is, then, you probably shouldn't be subscribed to my channel. But I also know that there's a whole bunch of you guys watching right now from the US that agree with what I said. Because one of the things I have noticed is that it has been you guys that are telling me and telling the rest of the group or the people in the comments, don't come to our country. We're a mess. So back to what, the original thing about the whole Discord thing. I don't consider myself a hater. I'm just standing up for my country. And, there's lots of reasons why everybody is so pissed off. And, of course, I could totally change my tone and be more sympathetic. I would probably get a lot more subscribers, and try to sugarcoat it down for more views, but I don't want to do that. And I'm not really wanting to, put out a message that I don't believe in. I don't know what this is. I don't even know where I'm standing. I think I'm standing on a cricket field, I think. I'm not sure. But I'm standing in the middle so I can kind of speak loudly without interrupting anybody. But yeah, like I said, I don't want to be a content creator that is filtering himself. And, I don't want to change my tone just to get more subscribers. And, this conversation actually came up in the Discord server, and I don't agree with it at all. So, again, am I spreading hate? No, I don't feel I am. For once since I was born, I feel that now Canada is actually finally standing up to, the big brother next door. And I think the rest of the world is too. And if you ask me, it seems like anybody who is, somewhat supporting the US or critical of anybody who, talks down to the US doesn't like this time right now. And why do they not like this time right now? It's because they're so used to everybody loving the greatest country in the world. That's just my opinion. And unfortunately, there's a lot of people in the US, and not even just the US, but, for some reason, there's people abroad that love the United States. They think anything critical that I am saying is hate, whereas I see it as just standing up for my country. And not just my country, like where everyone else is from. If you're from Europe or South America, Australia, Asia, I have a lot more Asia people now, especially in Malaysia, now that they know I'm here. But I'm spreading hate. I'm just stating the facts. And if people don't like the facts, if you don't like the fact that, people don't like the United States anymore, then that's your problem. And I'm not gonna bend my rules or my own morals to accommodate for that. It just wouldn't be genuine to my existing subscribers if I started saying, oh yeah, let's love the United States right now. Oh, let's support them. You're like, no, fuck that. No, fuck that. And that's I've had people email me and say, you know what, instead of just bashing the United States, why don't you help support those businesses across the border that are suffering because of your fellow citizens deciding not to come to our country? And when I opened that email, I was like, what the fuck? Why the fuck would I do that? Not everybody, I'm sorry, I'm going into a bit of a rant here. I don't like doing this, but I'm going, why the hell would I support a US business on my channel, which is Canadian, and while your government is trying to take us over? None of this is actually our fault in Canada. And okay, let me say this. I know I'm a lot more reasonable, and it's not black and white for me, but I know there's a lot of viewers and even a lot of Canadians that's not even related to my channel that are telling the United States to basically fuck off, and that's it. It's black and white. It's done. I always say it's not black and white for me. It's tough for me at times, right? especially with, for us that do have family and friends in the United States, or have close ties. This is a tough time for everyone. But at the same time as well, it's not just going to be, flowers and potpourri with the United States anymore. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, some people might say my videos are hate and I'm just spreading negativity, just like that person in my Discord server. But I think I have enough supporters, and as long as I have at least a couple people that agree with me, then I'm happy. And I'm sure I have more than a couple people. And like I said, I really appreciate everybody in the Discord server that kind of jumped in and helped to give their opinion. And I had to leave, so I had to get going, so I couldn't continue. But after seeing the chats, I know I have people that support me, and they support my message as well. And oh fuck, did I just step in dog shit? Oh man. Okay, anyways. So what I was trying to say is I appreciate everyone that is supporting my channel. What I want to say is, to everybody who is supporting my channel, I really appreciate it. And I gotta go clean this dog shit now. So that's it. Thanks very much, everyone. Bye.